If you discontinue to watch this video at one point, then please tell me what the reason was so that I can improve. Otherwise, hi and welcome. I am trying to learn electrical engineering. Today, force between conductors. After we've done it, we're going to do standing yoga. If you participate in the standing yoga, then it's at your home desk. Force between conductors. The diagram 35a. I think this one represents an end view of two very long straight conductors, say pieces of wire, carrying currents. Okay, that is the end of two cables. The conductor A, the left one, has the current direction out of the page. Okay, that comes out of the direction. And B has the current direction into the page. Each conductor is surrounded by an infinite number of lines of magnetic force. That was the previous part, we didn't really understand it, but wherever there's some type of electrons running, current, electricity, there's an electric field. And this electric field is here symbolized or depicted through these red lines. Each conductor is surrounded by an infinite number of lines of magnetic force. These are shown as circles, but you must remember that in reality each line of force shown would be a long cylinder enclosing the wire, or a series of circles outlining such a cylinder. So it's not two-dimensional, these lines go on after that. The lines of force between the two conductors are crowded when the two conductors are placed fairly near together, as shown in the lower part of the diagram. The lines of force between the two conductors are crowded when the two conductors are placed fairly near together. I don't know which one. Do I mean this or this one? Maybe. If you remember that the lines of force repel each other sideways, you will appreciate that the observed effect is that each conductor exerts a force on the other, tending to push them apart. The one's pushing the other one away because these line of forces never want to touch each other. I don't know which we're talking about right now. This effect can be shown in the laboratory in a number of different ways. One of these is to use two long strips of metal foil, the kind used for Christmas decorations, which will be attracted or repelled according to the direction of the currents flowing in the strips. Which will be attracted or repelled according to the direction of a current flowing in the strips. What strips? These two long strips of metal foil. How should they be used? Or there is some type of magnetic metal foil or whatever. Whatever. It can be seen that the magnetic force is a little bit to the side or something like that. They are parallel. That's the result. The result of this experiment can be stated as follows. Parallel currents attract, anti-parallel currents repel. So here in the second two examples, here in the first example there was the one pole going in out of the page, we have one out, and here we're having one two going out of the page, so we have both positive, and here we're having one positive and one negative. And if they're positive, both positive, they seem to work more or less together somehow, and here they seem to repel each other. Parallel currents attract, anti-parallel currents repel. With the strips of foil carrying currents in the same direction. I don't know where the strips are they around the cables, so I don't get the whole explanation. With the strips of foil carrying currents in the same direction, so-called parallel currents, the magnetic field between the two strips is weaker than that on the other side. The outer sides. And so the strips are forced near together and the effect is one of a direction. Okay, it's the magnetic metal piece of strip should be around the wires. And that wire would follow the magnetic field and would look probably pretty much like these red lines drawn here. With the strips of foil carrying currents in the same direction, so-called parallel currents, These metal pieces getting a bit of the electric force, obviously. The magnetic field between the two strips is weaker than that on the outer side. Between the strips in the inside, it's weaker than on the outside. And so the strips are forced near together, and the effect is one of attraction. Because they're having some shared magnetic field now to the outside and there's less on the inside, they are forced nearer together. And so they're having attraction, so that happens probably. It is better in both cases to think not only of the magnetic fields of each conducting wire or strip, but the shape of the entire resultant magnetic field, which is shown in figure 35C. It is better in both cases to think not only of the magnetic field of each conducting wire or strip, but the shape of the entire resultant magnetic field, which is shown in 35C. Two magnetic fields often form a resultant field in just the same way. The two forces acting together can be represented as one single resultant force. The force between the conductors is capable of measurement and is found experimentally to depend on two factors. First, the size of the current flowing in each of the conducting wires, and secondly, on the distance apart of them. This effect is used as the modern definition of an ampere, the unit in which the size of an electric current is measured. But basically the first part. The closer these two cables together are, the more effect they're having onto each other, and the more current is going through them, the more effect it has. And that is the end of it. The next thing is the ampere. That means that was the electrical engineering part. If you were here for electrical engineering, you can go directly to the next part of electrical engineering, where we're going to talk about the ampere. And if you stay here and participate in the standing yoga, then you sit at the ampere. Having the feet sitting together and the breathing in and touching the arms. And breathe out the arms again. Get it up. And out open to the side. In and up. Out open to the other side. In and up. Make an inch of space between the toes and out to the side. Breathe in, come up on the tiptoes. And breathe out again a bit down. In and up. Out and onto the other side, heels down. In and up onto the heels. Out a bit down. In and up. And out and lean onto the knees, with the heels again. Breathe in. And out, make a hill with the back. In into the middle. Out the belly with the back. In into the middle. Out the hill with the back. In into the middle. Out the hill. In into the middle. Out comes slowly with the round back. Up, make it on top and backwards. Shoulder round. Breathe in, lift the arms up. And breathe out and come up on the tiptoes. Breathe in and reach high. And out and sink down into the chair. That can go under the knees. Breathe in and come up. And out and down. Again, in and up. And out the arms on the sides, down, feet together. Breathe in. And out bend the right leg. In and change. Out bend the left one. In and change. Out the right one. In and change. Out the left one. Again into the middle. Out and down. Breathe in at the right hand up to the sky. Breathe out and look to the right hand. Bend the left knee. Inhale down. Out again down. Breathe in with the left hand up to the sky. Breathe out, bend the right knee and look up to the left hand. Inhale down, down. Make an end to the space between the feet, shift the weight to the heels and breathe in and go down. Out and up again. In and down. Out and up. Take hold onto the elbows and gently rock from side to side. Hands again down, feet together. Breathe and come halfway up with a straight back. Out and down. In halfway up. Out and down. In and come up again. And out and hands down. Toss the body to the outside. Having an underlap space between the heels. Breathe in at the outside. And breathe out and sink it down, the elbows against the insides of the knees. Breathe in and straighten up. And breathe out and come with the back up. Breathe again in. Out and down. Breathe in and straighten up. Out again with the back up. Breathe again in. And out. Breathe in and straighten up. And out and come slowly in one straight line. Have the feet staying together. Breathe in, lift the arms up. And breathe out, lean back to the shoulder blades together. In and up. Out again, down. In and up. Hands together and out, lean back. In and up. Out and back. In and up. Out and lean to the side. In and up. Out to the other side. In and up. Now intertwine the fingers and reach high. And breathe out, reach from the path back. In and up again. Up, intertwine the eye down. Breathe in. Out and down. In and up. Out, lean back with long arms. Up. Out and down. Put your hands down. Breathe in again, hands up. And out and down. In and up. Out and down. In and hands up. Bring the hands to touch. Allow the hands down to heart center. That was the semi yoga. I thank you very much and